Almost 20 years ago, we were all blessed with an adorable game about tiny creatures and collecting household objects. No, this isn't a Pikmin video. Today, we're talking about Chibi-Robo and the extremely dark story that North American fans never got to see. Hello everyone, you're watching Variety Television and welcome to my Chibi-Robo theory video. Before we get started, I'd like to issue a small spoiler warning as we're going to be discussing the entirety of the first Chibi-Robo game, as well as the entirety of the third Chibi-Robo game, although the third game has never been released in America and is likely to never be released in America. Anyway, a little while ago, I posted in my community tab asking which games you all would be interested in seeing me cover. User Michael Heidi suggested Chibi-Robo, which I thought was an excellent idea. If there is a certain game or franchise you would be interested in seeing me cover, drop it in a comment down below. While you're at it, consider subscribing, as a large majority of people who watch my videos are not subscribed. With all that out of the way, let's talk about some Chibi-Robo. Chances are, if you are watching this, you've at least played Chibi-Robo Plug-in to Adventure for the GameCube. This was the first one released in the series and kicked off the whole thing. Just in case you haven't played Chibi-Robo, here's a quick rundown of the original game. You play as Chibi-Robo, a 10cm robot from a line of helper bots. These Chibi-Robo's main goal is to spread happiness to the people around them. This can be achieved many different ways, but cleaning is pretty much the main way in Plug-in to Adventure. The Chibi-Robo we play as has been purchased by George, father of the Sanderson family, for his daughter Jenny's birthday. This turns out to be a problem as we discover the family is in quite a bit of financial trouble. The father George recently lost his job at Macroware Robotics Inc. and then proceeded to spend basically all the family's money on toys. With essentially no money remaining, George buys a very expensive robot for his daughter. Oh yeah, and there's a worldwide energy crisis also. After the party, everyone falls asleep, leaving Chibi to explore on his own through the night. He discovers that all the toys in the house are actually alive and are able to speak. A couple of days into his new life, Chibi is attacked by tiny aggressive robots called Spidors. And after several days of cleaning, doing chores, fighting off Spidors, and interacting with his family, Chibi gains access to the basement. Originally, he only goes down there to clean, but when he gets there, he discovers a large robot that greatly resembles himself. It turns out that this is an older model of helperbot called Chibi-Robo, and it was purchased by the Sandersons a while before they purchased Chibi. The Sandersons couldn't afford to keep charging Chibi-Robo's large battery, and he was decommissioned to the basement. Chibi-Robo is missing a leg and has a dead battery, but Chibi decides to fix him. Knowing Giga was purchased by the Sandersons originally, it would make them very happy if he could repair him after all. Chibi gets Giga's battery charged, but the leg is nowhere to be found. At this point, George spends even more money he doesn't have, and his wife Helen decides it's time for a divorce. While all the family is distracted trying to change Helen's mind about the divorce, some aliens visit the Sandersons' backyard. Yes, we're talking about a Nintendo game. Are you still with me here? Because this is where it's going to start getting a little crazy. Alright. So Chibi finds out that Giga's leg is in the safe, but the code is unknown. So Chibi becomes friends with the aliens that just appeared, and they allow him to use their time machine. He uses it to go back in time and get the safe code, only to come back and find the Sandersons being taken by Spidors. It is then revealed that George actually designed and built the Spidors when he worked for Macroware, and they were intended to be companions for Chibi-Robos. For some unknown reason, Macroware reprogrammed them to be hostile, which in turn led to George quitting his job. This is why he's unemployed and the family is struggling. Chibi defeats the Queen Spidor and is able to rescue the family. Chibi gets Giga's leg and finishes restoring him as well. We learn that the aliens are wish granters, and they are the reason that the toys are alive. They were honoring a wish that Chibi-Robo had made when he met them years ago. He also wished that all robots would have unlimited battery life, but at the time, the aliens weren't able to grant this wish. They tell us this is the whole reason they've returned and grant unlimited battery life to all robots, including Giga and Chibi. This in turn solves the energy crisis across the world, and everyone lives happily ever after. The next game is Chibi-Robo Park Patrol, which actually involves a new model of Chibi-Robo called a Blooming Chibi-Robo. These Chibis are shipped to parks everywhere and are tasked with keeping them clean and growing flowers. We pretty much just grow flowers in this one, and it's not even the same Chibi from the first game. It's actually the third game that I really want to talk about today. Chibi-Robo Happy Richie Osuji. This one was never released in the US, and its story locked away to us Westerners. Its name translates literally to Welcome Home Chibi-Robo, Happy Big Rich Sweep. Most people refer to this one as Chibi-Robo Clean Sweep in the States, although it doesn't have an official English title. This game starts with Chibi from the first game wandering through a house that's been destroyed. He's low on power and is unable to find an outlet that he can access, which causes his battery to run out. When he wakes up, he's back inside his Chibi house with his manager Telly. I didn't mention Telly before, but he was in the first game too. Telly informs us that we've been purchased by the family of Jenny Sanderson. Yes, the 8-year-old from the first game is now an adult with a son and a dog of her own. Her son's name is Keith and the dog's name is Lucky. Jenny is struggling financially much more than her parents, and our main goal in this game is ultimately to help Jenny afford the things she needs for her family. We earn money by doing chores and then put the money into the family savings. For example, one day Jenny holds a family meeting and explains they need a new shower head. It takes Jenny, Keith, Lucky, and Chibi's collective money to be able to afford this item. Once you do collect some money, just add it to the savings fund in Jenny's frog bank. Also, there's a group of ghosts that live in the attic, with the leader running a casino out of the attic. The leader's name is the Don, and we'll talk more about him in a moment. After taking care of the family for a while, we learn from Jenny what happened to Keith's dad, Carl. Jenny says that 7 years ago, Carl disappeared, and she thinks he's dead. Keith is almost 8, meaning he hasn't seen his father since a few months after he was born. It turns out that Carl somehow got turned into the frog bank, and you return him to being human by finding his underwear buried in the yard. Way to stay weird, Chibi-Robo. Way to stay weird. Carl is a human once more, yet now he's frog bank sized. This doesn't stop him from wanting to marry Jenny though, so after finding their rings, Carl tasks you with helping him save $30,000 to buy Jenny a dress. After saving the money, the Don descends from the attic to steal it all. He grows into a much larger ghost, and then the house transforms into a destroyed version of the house right around you. After defeating the Don, the house returns to normal and Chibi returns the money, allowing Jenny and Carl to finally get married. The end. The theorizing comes into play with the final boss battle. This ghost has a really strange hold on the house and family, and it doesn't seem to end when the game ends. For starters, all of the toys in Jenny's house are alive, so Giga-Robo's wish is still in effect. However, the game starts with Chibi's battery dying, and he doesn't have the unlimited power from the other part of Giga's wish. Next is the fate of Carl. The game doesn't state how Carl was turned into the frog bank, but the ghosts are seen messing with the bank right before Carl reveals himself to be the bank. The third is the family's poverty. While a lot of it could be easily explained by Jenny being a single mother, the family is extremely poor. Since the Don makes an attempt on the $30K at the end, I believe he's been taking money from Jenny and her family for his casino the whole time, only making it harder for them to get ahead. Lastly is the opening cutscene when compared to the final battle. It's the same place. The game opens in a destroyed house, with Chibi's battery dying until he ultimately runs out of power. The final battle has the Don turning the house into the exact same destroyed house from the opening, yet it returns to normal once he's been defeated. Oh, and you use Chibi's vacuum to fight off ghosts. These illusions revolving around the house and the vacuum thing make me think of Luigi's Mansion. So, what if the Don is so powerful that he's able to manipulate the appearance of the house, like how King Boo makes the mansion in Luigi's Mansion, as a ghostly illusion? Either way, it's really fishy, and these ghosts seem to be meddling with Jenny's family a lot more than the game tells us. If these clues are true, then Jenny and her family could be living in an illusory home, having their father figure taken away, and her money being slowly siphoned off, causing immense emotional and financial distress for Jenny and her son of only 7 years old. Let me know what you think of this theory down below, and tell me if you've ever played Chibi-Robo Clean Sweep. How did you like it? If you made it to this point in the video, please don't forget to subscribe and consider leaving a like if you enjoyed this video. Any comments for future game ideas will be greatly appreciated, and that's all I got for this one. Stay tuned though. Variety Television will be right back.